Looking at this cute little cart. It is a battery-powered, motorized with 4 wheels, carrying heavy loads easily across job sites or large areas. It uses 2 18-volt batteries connected in series to create a 36-volt system, able to run continuously for up to 100 minutes, with some versions able to hold 4 batteries and longer operation. It can carry up to 661 pounds on level surfaces and around 397 pounds on slopes up to 12 degrees. It has a flat loading platform that can be lifted electronically, from about 19 inches to just over 40 inches, so no manual work needed. The platform measures 38 by 25 inches, and the machine itself is about 55 inches long and 29 inches wide, with an adjustable handle height between 29 and 38.5 inches. It features 3 forward speed settings, up to about 3 miles per hour, and 1 reverse speed, all controlled by a trigger. Additional features include a front work light, rear LED light, audible beeper, swivel lock rear wheels, platform guards, and a level gauge for the lift. The current price tag of this cute little blue vehicle says $5,600, which was within the range of our expectation. This self-leveling grip surfaces like tile, concrete, glass, and drywall, using a vacuum suction system that applies around 60 kilopascals of pressure. It stays in place without manual support, holding loads up to 8 kilograms. A smart control mechanism adjusts the suction automatically to maintain hold on a range of materials, reducing the need for clamps or stands. Even if it falls from height up to 3 feet 9 inches, it will withstand it with no problem. It uses 2 separate apertures to emit a full 360-degree horizontal line and a vertical line at the same time. There's no need to turn the unit or change modes. This setup works well in applications where alignment must be maintained in both directions. A circular level bubble built into the device helps users check tilt from all directions, even on inclined planes like stairs. It has an LCD screen that shows suction pressure, mounting load, and battery status in real time. It is powered with a 1,800 mAh battery that charges in about 1 hour and provides approximately 13 hours of use per charge. We checked the price, and it was $113, with a discount to $99. Here, instead of buying a full tool for each job, like trimming, edging, blowing, or pruning, you only use 1 motor and swap out attachments depending on the task. It works with a battery of 40 volt, weighs about 9 pounds, and includes a variable speed trigger for adjusting power during its use. It connects to attachments through a quick lock coupler, with no tools needed. It comes with a string trimmer with an 18-inch cutting path, a blower, a hedge trimmer that handles branches up to 3/4 inch thick, and an edger with an 8-inch blade. There's also a cultivator with adjustable tine width, 7 to 10 inches, a pole saw that reaches up to 10 feet, and a few others for tasks like snow clearing or cleaning surfaces. It works with both 18-volt and 40-volt systems, supports multiple battery platforms, and is also compatible with some other universal attachment-style tools, making it flexible if you already own gear that fits. The price seems to vary by the retailers, but as a set including the battery and the charger too, it will cost about $300. This is a cordless demolition hammer used for breaking concrete and removing large slabs. It runs on 2 40-volt batteries working together to deliver 80-volt max power, functioning without a cord while still providing strong impact force. It delivers 72 joules of impact energy and strikes at 870 blows per minute. The tool uses a 1 1/8 inch hex shank, which fits heavy-duty demolition bits. To reduce strain during use, it includes a vibration-absorbing structure and internal counterweight. It has an indicator light alerts the user when maintenance is needed. The unit measures 35 inches long, 9 inches wide, and 21 inches high. With the bit attached, it weighs 70 pounds. Included accessories are a bullpoint bit and hex wrench. It performs on par with corded models, but runs entirely on battery power, offering more flexibility on active job sites. It costs approximately $2,000. This is an automatic hot air welding machine used to join thermoplastic materials such as PVC and PE. It's commonly used on large surfaces like tarpaulins, roofing membranes, banners, and industrial fabrics. The tool operates using a hot air stream to melt the edges of two overlapping materials, which are then pressed together to form a continuous seam. Key features include a brushless blower motor and a brushless drive motor, both selected to reduce maintenance needs. The welding parameters, temperature, speed, and air volume, are adjustable through a digital interface and can be saved as presets for recurring tasks. An automatic material lifting system helps start welds cleanly, and a guide wheel combined with a caster rail helps the machine stay aligned when moving around objects such as grommets. The tag price? $8,000. This is a small cordless soldering station that runs on 3 regular batteries, the kind used in flashlights or vapes. You don't need to plug it in while using it, which makes it handy when there's no outlet nearby. It heats up really fast, like from cold to about 842 degrees Fahrenheit in 3 seconds. And that's more than enough for typical electronics work. You can control the temperature, and there's a screen that shows you exactly what it's doing, including the battery level. It charges through USB-C, so the same charger you use for your phone or laptop will work just fine. Size-wise, it's small enough to throw in a tool bag, and it doesn't weigh much, under a pound more precisely. You can also add a few extras if you want, like a wire spool holder or a little smoke extractor. It costs $147. This precision screwdriver has a smart mechanical setup. It is made from CNC machined aluminum and measures about 3 inches long and 0.47 inches in diameter, weighing around 1 ounce. Attached to it is a spinner wheel, which you can spin with your fingertip to drive screws faster without losing control. The tip uses a magnetic holder, so you can swap bits quickly, even one-handed. There's also a ball bearing at the top that lets the handle spin freely under your finger while you keep pressure on the screw, helpful for delicate or repeated work. It comes with 20 steel bits, each 1 inch long. They have micro grooves at the tip that help grip screw heads more firmly. The bits fit into a rotating storage cylinder that keeps everything organized and easy to grab. There's also a compact foam-lined case. If needed, the bit holder can be removed and used with a powered screwdriver, just not the impact kind. It costs $80. This tool helps flatten large pieces of wood by moving a router across the surface in a controlled way. Instead of doing it by hand, the router sits on a sled that rolls along metal rails, so the cuts stay even across the whole slab. The system works with most routers that have mounting holes spaced 3.5 to 4.5 inches apart in a square shape. In the basic setup, the rails are 41 inches apart, with 30 inches of working space between the router's center points. For larger slabs, the rails can be extended by connecting more sections. It includes a 10-foot power cord, magnetic stops to mark the travel range, and both an app and physical buttons for starting, stopping, or sending the sled back to its starting point. You can adjust settings like movement speed through the app if needed. There's no built-in motor for cutting. It depends on the router you attach, but it handles hardwoods and resin surfaces without issue. The price? $1,300. It's basically a hand tool for bending metal roofing panels. Instead of cutting pieces short and bending them in segments, this one lets you bend the entire length of the panel right there on the job. That's especially useful when working on things like gable ends or seams, where the metal needs to fold cleanly. It can make bends from 0 to 100 degrees and works with different types of metal: steel, stainless, aluminum, copper, and zinc, as long as they're within a certain thickness. You can adjust the spacing between the rollers depending on the material, and there's even an extra roller you can add if you're working with softer metals that might crack with tighter bends. It's made of machined metal parts, so it's solid, and it comes in a hard case that keeps everything protected. No motors, no electronics, just a mechanical tool that gives you control over bends without needing a big machine shop. Now the price: $790. If you need a compact machine to dry large surfaces, such as asphalt, concrete, or steel, then we have the perfect solution for you. It works by channeling high-temperature air, up to 1,148 degrees Fahrenheit, through a nozzle, removing water, debris, or light frost before tasks like road marking, crack sealing, or roofing. Instead of using an open flame, it runs on a micro-turbine powered by diesel or kerosene with a small oil mix. This allows it to operate safely, especially in places where open flames aren't allowed. It consumes about 3 gallons of fuel per hour and delivers around 15 to 25 minutes of use per tank. The machine weighs around 53 pounds, and it supports interchangeable nozzles between 8 and 39 inches wide, adapting to different surface widths. A 12-volt battery powers the onboard electronics, which include a digital display, GPS, and real-time performance tracking. It costs $4,000. Check out this electric sponge ringing machine. You can use it for tile installation and grout cleaning. The unit uses a rotating internal mechanism to shake out debris, followed by solid nylon rollers that press the sponge to a damp state, ideal for cleaning grout lines without over-wetting them. The housing is made of stainless steel and fits on top of standard 5 or 6 gallon buckets. It includes a 25-foot power cord for extended reach on job sites. A directional switch allows the rollers to move forward or in reverse, giving flexibility during use. For safety, the device only operates when correctly positioned on a bucket rim. The machine plugs into standard power, 100 to 277 volts, and uses about 1.4 amps. It produces 12 volts of output power at 100 watts. Overall, it's a powered tool for preparing sponges efficiently during repetitive cleaning or finishing work, especially useful in tile setting environments. The tag says $500 to $25. Looking now at a new kind of paintbrush system that works a bit differently. Here's why. Instead of gripping a handle with your fingers the whole time, this one shifts the weight to the top of your hand and arm, so your fingers just guide it. The main part is the handle, and you can snap on different brush heads depending on what you're painting, like smaller ones for edges or bigger ones for large areas. There's also a mini roller you can attach if you want to switch things up. It has a lock that lets you turn the heads into different positions and keep them there, which is helpful when you're trying to reach tricky spots. This tool may be of interest especially to painters working long hours, or anyone who experiences discomfort with standard handles. It costs $39. Moving further to a cordless rotary hammer tool that operates on a 20-volt battery system. It uses an SDS Plus chuck, allowing for secure and quick changes between compatible bits. The tool supports multiple modes, including drilling, hammer drilling, and chiseling, depending on the version. It can drill holes up to 1 inch in concrete and wood, and up to 0.5 inch in steel. Vibration during hammer use is recorded at about 35 feet per second squared, and sound levels are listed at 78 decibels of sound pressure and 89 decibels of sound power. It weighs around 6 pounds. It costs $200. And this is a hand-operated slitter used to cut metal and vinyl panels on site. It makes clean, straight cuts directly where panels are being installed. Its frame is made of tough aluminum, so it holds up well, plus it's not too heavy to carry around. The blades are actually wheels that roll as you move it, and you can sharpen or swap them out if they get dull. It cuts metal up to 24 gauge thick, so good enough for most siding or roofing panels. It also works on vinyl panels, making it suitable for jobs involving different panel materials. The cut finish is smooth, and the tool avoids scratching the surface of the material during use. This matters in applications where the panels will remain visible after installation. There are no motors, cords, or complex components. It's a simple mechanical tool working just fine where powered tools aren't necessary or available. Shut up and take my money? Okay, that'll be $340. This little tool does a lot for something that fits in your hand. It can measure angles with accuracy down to about 0.2 degrees, and the laser can measure distances up to roughly 164 feet, accurate within about 5/64 of an inch. You can switch between units too, like inches, feet, fractions, or metric if needed. It also saves up to 99 measurements, which is super useful if you're working on a bigger project or want to keep track of what you've already measured. It's light, about the weight of a smartphone, and easy to carry around. It has a battery that lasts for up to 12 hours of use, and it recharges in about 50 minutes using a USB-C cable. There's a rubber flap over the charging port to help keep dust out. The screen rotates depending on how you hold it, which makes it easier to read in different positions. When you're using the level mode, there's a bullseye-style display that works like a digital bubble level, simple and easy to read. It's actually magnetic, so you can stick it to metal pipes, beams, or other surfaces, and it stays put, so you don't need a second hand to hold it in place. It costs $70. This other one is a handheld 3D scanning device used to detect and measure surface damage on aircraft. It captures detailed dent and surface data in real time and displays the measurements directly on the aircraft using augmented reality. No physical contact is needed, and it works without requiring surface preparation. The scanner operates at about 20 inches from the surface and captures measurements in roughly 2 seconds. It weighs approximately 8.8 pounds and measures around 13 by 11 by 3 inches. It has a battery that lasts up to 4 hours and allows continued use while charging. It connects via Wi-Fi, USB, and optional LTE, and integrates with tablets for on-site digital reporting. All outputs follow standardized damage reporting formats used in aviation maintenance, including dent depth, cross-section, and distances between structural elements. It supports both metallic and composite surfaces, including curved panels. This other one tool is a handheld vacuum lifter, used to grip and move heavy flat materials like glass, tile, stone, metal, drywall, and plywood. It works by creating suction through a built-in electric pump, forming a seal with a foam gasket that adapts to slight surface variations. The unit includes a 14-volt lithium-ion battery, powering a 16-watt pump that generates up to 11 psi of suction pressure. Once activated, it attaches securely to non-porous surfaces and can lift up to 375 pounds under ideal conditions. It runs for about 1.5 hours on a full charge and recharges in roughly 2 hours. The price of this product is $90. This is an ultrasonic cutting tool that uses high-frequency vibration, around 40,000 movements per second, to drive a blade through different materials. Instead of using hand pressure, it vibrates the blade at ultrasonic speed, slicing through items with a great precision and with no physical effect. It's basically a pen-style handle that connects to a docking base. The system delivers up to 65 watts of cutting power, with 5 selectable levels to match different material types and thicknesses. It runs on standard AC power and connects via a cable about 4 feet long. The handle measures roughly 7 inches in length, and the dock is about 7 by 4 by 3 inches. It supports multiple blade types, including fine point, chisel, sharp edge, and micro chisel, each suited to different shapes and tasks, and it works on plastics, foams, wood, resin prints, fabric, circuit boards, and similar materials. It costs $214. Analyzing a small handheld paint sprayer made for home projects like painting furniture, cabinets, and even outdoor graffiti. Mainly stuff you don't want to use a big tool or roller for. It has 2 spray modes, so you can switch based on what kind of surface or finish you're going for. You just plug it in and start. No extra equipment, no setup headache. One of the standout features is its spray head. It can rotate 360 degrees. That means you can spray at different angles without twisting your wrist into weird positions, which helps when you're working on corners or under shelves. Now a motorized cart that can handle up to 440 pounds, lifting and loading heavy stuff into the back of a truck, van, or SUV, without having to haul everything by hand. We just load your gear onto the platform, press a button, and it lifts up to the height of the vehicle. Then the whole platform slides in, so you're not dragging or lifting anything awkward. The platform itself is about 47 by 28 inches and can go from 10 inches off the ground up to 50 inches. It runs on an 8-volt battery and gives you around 140 full lifts per charge if you're using it with the max weight. The handle folds down from about 30 inches to just 3 inches, so it's easier to store or throw in the back when you're done. It uses side rails to slide the platform in once it's lifted, and the wheels have brakes to keep it from moving during loading. As long as your truck bed or cargo area isn't higher than 50 inches, it should fit fine. It's built solid and takes a lot of the work out of loading up heavy stuff. The price from this cart is $1,399. This is a compact hand-operated tool that turns plastic bottles into long, uniform plastic strips or ribbon. It works with most plastic bottles, big or small, but a standard 34-ounce bottle gives you about 6 feet of strip, which you can use for all sorts of projects. No power needed. You cut off one end of a bottle, make a small slit, slide it into the slot, and pull. Inside, there's a hidden blade that cuts the bottle into a strip as you go. The blade itself is made of steel and measures around 0.02 inch thick, 0.9 inch long, and 0.25 inch wide. It's replaceable, and some versions come with 5 extras. The body's made from titanium alloy and has been tested to last for over 50,000 uses, so it's pretty solid. You can either hold it in your hands for quick jobs or mount it to the edge of a table if you're working through a bunch of bottles. It's got a smooth, rounded design and the blade's tucked away, so it's safer to handle. The current listed price is $105, so it doesn't cost that much either. Ever drop a screw and watch it vanish into the dark abyss behind your car engine or under your car seat while driving, like it's been sucked into another dimension? This tool is made for exactly that kind of moment. It's a grabber and a magnet with a flashlight. It's got a 24-inch flexible shaft that bends around pipes, wires, and other obstacles, then snaps back into shape. The head is 0.6 inches wide, so it slips into tight spaces without getting stuck. The magnetic tip can lift metal parts up to 2 pounds. Nuts, bolts, washers, or that socket you thought was gone for good. If it's not metal, a 4-pronged claw, controlled by a trigger, grips plastic or aluminum pieces with ease. And its LED light into tip lets you see clearly in deep or dark spaces. It runs on 3 LR44 button batteries. The handle itself is made from anodized aluminum, and that's it. It costs $20. Next, a serious ratchet made for heavy mechanical work, like think trucks, tractors, or big machines. It's got a 3/4 inch drive and uses a 120 tooth gear inside, which means each click only needs a 3-degree turn. That's especially helpful when you're working in tight spots where you can't swing your arm much. The handle is about 20 inches long by default, but it comes with 3 extension bars, about 4, 8, and 16 inches. You can mix and match those to stretch the whole thing out to around 41 inches if you need extra leverage. It can take on up to 1,500 foot-pounds of torque, so it's not something you'd grab for everyday jobs. The ratchet is reversible, so you can switch directions without taking it off the bolt, and the all-metal build feels solid in your hands. It has a reasonable price of $337. This is a round abrasive pad used for cleaning the metal surfaces where a vehicle's wheel connects to the hub during maintenance. It attaches to a power tool using a hook and loop backing and is replaced when the previous pad becomes worn or loses effectiveness. The pad measures about 5.9 inches in diameter, with a raised center section that's roughly 1.9 inches across and 1 inch thick. This raised section helps reach the recessed inner ring of the wheel bore, an area that flat pads often miss. It connects to compatible tools using a 1/2 inch square drive and operates safely at speeds up to about 1,500 revolutions per minute. It costs $32. Further, a tool that scans real-world spaces and turns them into super accurate 3D models. To us is like a high-tech camera, but instead of taking pictures, it captures the exact shape and size of everything around it. Walls, floors, pipes, whatever's in the area. People are using it in construction or renovation to check measurements or plan out work without guessing. It can scan up to about 260 feet away and is really precise, down to less than 1/10 of an inch. It grabs 500,000 data points every second, so the final result is really detailed. There are also built-in cameras that take high-quality images to go along with the 3D data, which helps when you're putting everything together on a computer. It automatically lines up scans from different spots and levels itself if the ground isn't flat. The best thing about it is that you can see the results right there, on site, and all the files are saved to a memory card that you can send or share over Wi-Fi or USB with people you want. The price? Well, $53,000. But don't be angry at me. Next. A cordless vacuum made for construction work. It runs on a 22-volt battery and comes in 2 main parts, a motor on top and a removable tank underneath. The standard version has an 8-liter tank, but you can swap it for a bigger one if the job calls for it. It picks up both dry dust and wet debris, from wood shavings to concrete dust and slurry from drilling or cutting. It cleans its own filter automatically and while you work, so you don't have to stop and do it. Airflow at the hose reaches about 63 cubic feet per minute, and it pulls with a vacuum pressure of 3 psi. It takes in up to 750 watts of power and weighs around 13 pounds. The size is compact, roughly 8 by 13 by 15 inches. There's also an option to hook it up to power tools using a Bluetooth remote, so it only runs when your tool does. And since it doesn't need a cord, it's easy to move around, especially if you're using the backpack-style straps or the wheeled version with the larger tank. It costs $590. And S Specialized used to remove the outer layer of cables, like the thick plastic jackets on electrical or telecom wires, but it has insulation, so it can be used around live electrical equipment up to 1,000 volts. That insulation helps reduce the risk of shock if you're working in active circuits. The knife has a stainless steel blade that's super sharp and replaceable, so when it gets dull, you don't need to throw the whole thing away. Just swap the blade. It's pretty compact, about 7.38 inches, and of course, light as a feather. It costs $31. This pump attachment connects to a standard drill or impact driver using a 1/4-inch hex shank and relies on the tool's spinning motion to move water. At about 2,800 RPM, it reaches a flow rate of up to 10 gallons per minute. At slower speeds like 2,000 RPM, tests show around 9 gallons per minute. It can draw water from depths of up to 10 feet and push it as high as 35 feet. The input and output ends fit 3/4-inch garden hose threads. The outer housing is metal, and the interior includes dual bearings to support movement during use. Once attached to a drill and connected to hoses, it begins pumping immediately. There's no motor inside. It takes all its power from the drill. That simplicity helps keep the size compact and the setup quick. It's useful for removing water from tanks, tubs, aquariums, and similar containers, including applications like draining an RV's water supply. The price tag? $39. This is a cordless, battery-powered tool used to remove sharp edges from the inside and outside of round pipes and tubes. It works with multiple materials, including copper, PVC, EMT, stainless steel, black iron, and aluminum, and handles pipe sizes from 3/8 inch to 2 inches in diameter. It features a dual-edge cutting system, working on both inner and outer edges without switching attachments. A variable speed control and paddle-style trigger give the user flexibility over how fast the tool operates, depending on the material and task. Rust-resistant blades are included to handle long-term use, and hand protection is built into the tool's frame to help guide positioning during operation. It's also compatible with a tracking chip that links to an asset management app, allowing users to monitor location and usage if needed. It weighs about 5 pounds and measures approximately 5 by 12 by 3 inches. The tool runs on a standard 20-volt battery platform, though batteries and chargers are often sold separately. It's intended for use where manual deburring would take longer or demand more effort. You can buy this item for $219. Up next, another outdoor tool system made up of one main unit and multiple attachments. It is powered by a 60-volt battery system, and it weighs about 8 pounds without battery or blades and reaches a cutting depth of up to 4 3/4 inches. It uses 2 reciprocating blades that move in an elliptical motion, allowing it to make plunge cuts and square corners without slicing beyond the intended area. This feature helps when working on brick and mortar, especially for removing individual bricks or cutting into walls to create clean openings. It can also handle certain mixed materials like wood, asphalt, and even some root structures, depending on the job. The cordless setup allows users to work in spaces where outlets are limited or where dragging a cord would interrupt workflow. It also offers a higher degree of control when working in tighter spaces or performing overhead tasks. Dust control is a standout aspect of this tool. The included boot collects airborne particles at the source, which matters when working in enclosed spaces or where cleanup time needs to be kept to a minimum. The blade motion reduces vibration compared to traditional circular saws, which helps with comfort and precision during long sessions. While not intended for heavy concrete demolition, it performs well in masonry restoration and other structural modifications that call for clean, accurate cuts. The tag price? $169. Looking to this small, cordless rotary tool made for doing fine, detailed work like engraving, polishing, carving, or sanding. It has a built-in camera and connects to your phone over Wi-Fi, so you can actually see what you're doing up close in real time through an app. And that's especially useful when you're working on tiny areas or want to follow a specific pattern more precisely. It has 3 speed settings, which you can switch depending on how much control or power you need. It comes with a big set of attachments, 50 bits for engraving and 12 for polishing, so you can use it on different materials or for different finishes you might want. It feels really light in the hand and easy to handle for smaller, careful work, weighing only 0.4 pounds. If you feel like an artist, it costs about $200.